Hey, it's Pat here. You know, passive income is the holy grail of making money. And there's lots of different ways to make passive income. But my favorite way, by far, is to build a business that can pay you over and over and over again. For example, I built a website in 2008 to help people pass an architectural exam, and still today, 13 years later, that website pays me monthly. And it only requires 2 to 3 hours per quarter to upkeep. I also have online courses where if people find me on Google or through my website or even here on YouTube, they might subscribe to my email list and they might get involved and pay for one of my courses. You might also find some of my physical products on Amazon, whether that be some of my books or even my invention, the Switch Pod. And of course, same deal, people find them, they buy them, and I get paid. Now, it's not just for me though. Thousands of my students have been doing the exact same kind of thing. Take Andrea Davis. Andrea runs a website called Better Screen Time, who sells online courses to help parents manage their screen time with their children. There's also Josh Hall, who generates passive income by helping serve the web design community, mainly through his podcast. And Deborah Neiman, who teaches thousands of people, get this, how to raise healthy goats through her books and courses. Yes, goats. In this video, I wanna help make generating passive income a little bit easier for you by sharing with you the top 5 mistakes that most people make when trying to generate passive income. Look, we all make mistakes, but these are the mistakes that you don't have to make because I and several others have made them already. And by the way, while you're here, we are so close to reaching our 300,000 subscriber goal. So if you wanna learn more about building passive income streams, building your business, becoming an entrepreneur, hit that subscribe button. And thank you so much for helping grow the channel and helping other people find it too. Now, quick story. In 2010, I tried starting a business that ended up having me lose $15,000. Here's what happened. Actually that mistake kind of hurt and is a bit too heavy to start off with. I'll get back to that one in a minute, but first let's start here. Mistake number 1, you try to build a business that helps everybody. Now, it might seem kind of weird that that's a mistake because we want to help as many people as possible. The truth of the matter is this, if you build a business for everybody, you're building a business for nobody. Here's what I like to say. The riches are in the niches. And yeah, I know it's pronounced niches, but that doesn't rhyme as well. When you niche down, when you have a narrower focus, when you have a specialty, everything, literally everything becomes that much easier. You don't need to create the next Uber. You don't need to create the next Tesla. You don't need to create the next fidget spinner that everybody uses. There's a certain group of people out there, a market, a target audience that has problems, pains, needs, wants, desires. If you can just help even a small group of those people, you can actually do really, really well and build something that could generate passive income over time. It's the difference between, for example, trying to start a shoe store that has all the shoes, athletes' shoes, casual shoes, walking shoes, running shoes, all the things, versus just specializing in something like, well, the running shoe store where you know you're gonna serve runners and they know when they come in the store that you can help them with, guess what? Running. All your manufacturers and all the products that you have in store are, yes, all for runners. All the people that you hire can be people who have ran before. You can speak the same language. You can offer multiple products. You can dive into sub niches within that space. People who are running 5Ks to people who are running ultra marathons. There's enough people out there for you to do very, very well without trying to serve everybody. Again, serve everybody, you're serving nobody, and it's gonna be that much more of an uphill battle for you. Why start difficult? Start narrow, start focused, start having success. Mistake number 2, this is very common, and it takes me back, in fact, to high school. We had this weird thing happen in high school. I don't know why we did this, but it just became a trend, and I'm gonna date myself a little bit, but this was the late 90s. People who were like the cool kids in school started printing business cards in high school with their name and like some of their talents on it or what instrument they played or whatever. There was literally no business, but it felt cool to have a business card. And yeah, because I was like a wannabe cool guy, I made one. I remember going to Kinko's and anyway, I'm not gonna talk about it. The same thing happens in this world of making money online. We wanna feel cool, like we're actually doing something. So what do? We get our website up and running. We get our social media accounts. We get a logo design. We might buy all this fancy equipment, but does that mean you have a business? Have you actually tried to help anybody yet? In most cases, no, not yet. You should get all that stuff once you know exactly what it's like to help people. And if you even like helping those people and what kind of ways you wanna help those people before you worry about all those things that, guess what, also cost money. Spend time getting to know the group of people who you want to serve and figuring out what problems they have so that you can offer them something, whether it's your own product or somebody else's product that you can earn a commission with. If you want to make it even easier, here's a trick for you. Find one person and help them get one result. Start there. That's where it all starts. Just one person, one result. Everything unlocks after that. What you can serve them with, how to speak, how to find them, how to even solve their problems, and whether you even like it or not. Then when you rinse and repeat, guess what? Now you have a testimonial. And now you can figure out how to automate it later. Mistake number 3, thinking that passive income is where it all starts. That you're gonna set up your business and then next week, maybe even next month or even next year, and then money's just gonna roll in and all you'd have to do is sit back and relax. And then that's kind of what happens. You sit back and try to figure out what's going on and all of a sudden you're falling flat because you haven't got anything going on yet. Passive income is like the last step of the process. You're very active in generating an income, but over time, whether you use tools or systemizing your business or automating it using certain tools and software and or people that you might hire, you then get to remove yourself from the process, still be able to serve people, but in a more automated fashion. And that comes later, sometimes much, much later. Mistake number 4, and my gosh, this is a big one. Whenever I coach somebody and I ask them, how much money do you want to make? What do you think the most common number is that people say when it comes to how much they want their business to make per year? Any guesses? If you've guessed $1 million or a 7-figure business, then you would be right because that's what most people say. I want to challenge you on that if that's what you want to. Because in most cases, and this happens with my students, when you really crunch the numbers in terms of what you actually need to live the kind of life you want to live, you don't even need anywhere close to $1 million a year or 7 figures coming in. In many cases, it's mostly anywhere between $100,000 and $150,000. I mean, a $100,000 business is a completely different business model, completely different set of actions, and much, much easier to make passive than a $1 million business. So how much money do you actually need? What is your goal for the kind of lifestyle that you want to live? You can reverse engineer from that, and the numbers actually can start to make sense and seem achievable. For example, $100,000, that's 1,000 people paying you $100 per year. 1,000, that's it. There's like 8 billion people in the world, just 1,000. You see, the riches are in the niches. Or get this, a 6-figure income, $100,000 is 100 people paying you $84 a month. Can you create a service or a software or something that'll help you get $84 a month from just 100 people? Probably. Or maybe you go white glove service, meaning you go high touch to start and you serve 10 people at $800 a month. I'm just saying, once you know your goal, once you know your North Star, it's gonna be a lot easier to figure out what your next steps are. All right, mistake number 5. This ties in the $15,000 loss that I had as a result of making this giant mistake myself. Back in 2010, I started a software company. And I started this because I saw a couple of my friends start software companies too, and quickly make 6 figures within just a couple weeks after the launch of their product. So what did I do? Well, I had dollar signs coming out of my eyes, and I said, you know what? I have an even bigger audience than they do. I'm gonna make a software too. So I came up with an idea. I found a developer. I spent $5,000, and 6 weeks later, it wasn't working. So I spent another $5,000 and another 6 weeks, and guess what? We were a little bit closer to what I thought this should be, but it wasn't quite there. And then finally, I spent another $5,000 and another 4 to 5 weeks finally getting something good. And when I shared it with people around the world, they said, I don't really want this. One of the lessons here is, well, I should have validated this product idea ahead of time, which is why I wrote my book, Will It Fly, which you can check out in the description below to help you validate your business ideas so you don't waste time and money like I did. But secondly, and here's the big lesson here and the big mistake that I made. I started this business because I was chasing the money. It was a money-first approach. And anytime in my history, in the history of many of my students, and I know maybe your history too, if you start something with just money in mind, without the idea of how you might help others first, and really diving into the problems of your audience, well, you're likely gonna fail. Your primary goal shouldn't be to make money. Your earnings and the money that comes should be a byproduct of how well you serve your audience. Cool? Cool. Now that you know the potential mistakes that you can make, I want you to make the right moves by clicking this video right here, which is gonna teach you the different ways that you can actually make passive income and steps on how to get started. You can click that video right here and check it out and learn even more. Thanks.